This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You're listening to Max and Mia podcast, the podcast where we help you level up your English, one conversation at a time. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia. Really glad you're here today, whether you're joining us for the first time or you're already part of this community.
Mia, before we start, I have to tell you something. I went shopping this weekend and I ended up spending way more than I planned.
Oh no, what happened?
I don't even know. I walked in for one thing and walked out with like 5. And the worst part? I didn't ask about any discounts. Nothing. I just paid full price like it was completely normal.
That hurts. Honestly, I do that too sometimes. You're already at the register and you just freeze.
Exactly. And then you get home and you're like, why didn't I just ask?
It's that moment where you know what you want to say, but the words just don't come out. And I think a lot of people listening right now know exactly what that feels like.
Which actually brings us to our question for today. And we really want to hear from you on this one. Is there a situation in English where you know what you want to say, but when the moment comes, you just go blank? Tell us in the comments. It doesn't have to be long. We just want to know we're not the only ones.
Because trust me, you're not.
Now, today's episode, it's one we're really excited about.
We're looking at 3 everyday scenarios. Situations that, at some point, you're almost certainly going to run into if you haven't already.
And here's the thing. This episode is perfect if you're at an intermediate level. But honestly, if you're somewhere around B1 or even a little below, don't skip this one.
Think of it as a challenge, a good one.
All right, you ready?
Let's go. All right, let's get into our first topic. And this one is budgeting.
Yes. And look, I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't really do that. And honestly, neither did I for a long time.
So what changed?
I just got tired of getting to the end of the month and having no idea where my money went. Like, it was just gone. So I started writing things down. What's coming in, what's going out, what I actually want to spend money on. And it sounds simple, but it genuinely changed things for me.
It really does make a difference. When you can see it all in front of you, you make better decisions. You feel more in control.
Exactly. And the thing is, a lot of us already think about this stuff in our heads, but we never actually talk about it out loud, especially not in English.
Right, so let's say you're sitting down with your partner, your roommate, or maybe a family member, and you need to figure out the finances for the month together. Could you do that conversation in English, talking about specific numbers, explaining where the money's going, maybe pushing back a little on something?
That's exactly what we're going to look at. In this first audio, we'll hear Ben and Susan sitting down to do just that. They're going through their monthly finances together. And it's a very real, very natural conversation.
So pay attention, not just to what they say, but how they say it.
Ready? Here's the first conversation.
Okay, so I went over the numbers last night, and I think we need to sit down and actually talk about this, like, properly.
Yeah, I know. I saw the bank statement this morning, and it's a lot.
It is. So our income this month is around $4,200 combined, right? After taxes.
That sounds right. My paycheck was $2,080 and yours was a bit more.
$2,140. So yeah, $4,220 total. Now rent is $1,300. That's fixed. No way around that.
Okay, so we're already down to 2,920. What about utilities?
I put aside around 180 for electricity and water. Last month we went a little over because of the AC, so I'm building in some extra.
Smart. And groceries?
I budgeted 450. I know we've been spending closer to 500, but I think if we plan our meals better, we can cut back a little.
I can work with that. What about the car?
Insurance is $92 a month, and I put $150 for gas, so that's $242 altogether.
Okay, and don't forget we still have that credit card balance from last month. We said we'd chip away at it this month.
Right. I haven't forgotten. I set aside $300 for that. I want to knock it down as much as we can. Carrying that balance is just burning money at this point.
Totally agree. So what are we looking at for savings?
That's where it gets a bit tight. After all the fixed expenses, we're left with around $748. I want to put at least $300 into savings. Non-negotiable for me.
300 sounds reasonable. So that leaves us $448 for everything else, like going out, clothes, random stuff?
Exactly. And I think we need to be real about that number. It's not a lot if we're not careful.
I mean, it's doable. We just can't go overboard like we did in March. That month got away from us completely.
Don't remind me. I think the biggest thing is just keeping track as we go, not waiting until the end of the month to look at everything.
Agreed. Maybe we check in mid-month, like around the 15th, just to see where we stand?
I love that idea. That way, if we're overspending somewhere, we can catch it early and adjust, instead of just hoping for the best.
Exactly. And honestly, even having this conversation makes me feel better. It's easy to just put it off and not think about it, but then it just snowballs.
Yeah, sticking your head in the sand never works out. All right, I'll put together a simple spreadsheet so we can both see everything in one place.
Perfect. And I'll start meal planning this week so we actually stay within that grocery budget.
Deal. I think if we stick to this, we'll be in a much better place by the end of the month.
I really think so too. Okay, let's do this.
Okay, I really liked that one. Ben and Susan felt very real, like that's an actual conversation people have.
Right? And what I liked is that it wasn't tense at all. Sometimes talking about money with someone you live with can get uncomfortable fast, but they handled it well. Very calm, very practical.
Okay, let's break down some of the language from that conversation, because there were some really useful things in there.
Let's do it. First one, chip away at. Susan said they wanted to chip away at the credit card balance. This phrasal verb means to reduce something gradually, little by little. You're not solving it all at once. You're making small progress over time. You can chip away at a debt, a project, even a bad habit.
Great one. Next up, it snowballs. Susan used this at the end when she said that if you ignore your finances, it just snowballs. This means something starts small but keeps growing and getting harder to control. Like an actual snowball rolling down a hill, picking up more snow as it goes.
Love that image. Third one, and this is very common in English. Sticking your head in the sand. Ben said that sticking your head in the sand never works out. This idiom means ignoring a problem and pretending it doesn't exist. It comes from the idea of an ostrich hiding its head underground to avoid danger. Spoiler, it doesn't work for the ostrich either.
And the last one, non-negotiable. Ben said putting $300 into savings was non-negotiable for him. This one's straightforward but really useful. It means something is completely fixed. It's not up for discussion. You'll hear this a lot in financial conversations, but also in everyday life when someone has a firm boundary on something.
4 words, very different situations, all incredibly useful. Make sure you write those down.
All right. Moving on to our second scenario of the day, and this one... Okay, picture this.
You've been invited to your partner's family dinner, or maybe it's a close friend's family gathering. Either way, you walk in and suddenly you're surrounded by people you barely know. Everyone's talking, laughing, and someone turns to you and says, "So, tell me about yourself."
And just like that, your mind goes blank. Not because you don't have things to say, but because small talk in English, especially with people you've just met, is a completely different skill. It's not about vocabulary. It's about knowing how to keep a conversation going, how to ask the right questions, how to sound natural and not rehearsed.
And that's exactly what we're going to hear in this next audio. Phil has just arrived at his girlfriend's family home for the very first time. And the first person he runs into is Emily, his girlfriend's mom, his mother-in-law basically. He knows almost no one there, and he has to navigate an entire evening of small talk.
No pressure, right? Let's see how he handles it. Here's the second conversation.
Phil, come in, come in. We've been looking forward to meeting you. I'm Emily, Sarah's mom.
Mrs. Emily, it's so nice to finally meet you. Thank you so much for having me. I brought some wine. I hope that's all right.
Oh, how thoughtful. You didn't have to do that. And please, call me Emily. Mrs. makes me feel old.
Of course, sorry. You have a beautiful home, by the way.
Thank you. We've been here for almost 20 years now. It's funny you stopped noticing after a while. So, Phil, Sarah tells me you work in marketing.
That's right. Yeah, I've been with the same company for about 3 years now. It keeps me on my toes, honestly. Every week is a bit different.
That sounds exciting. My husband Robert was in advertising for years. You two will probably have a lot to talk about.
Oh, really? I'd love to pick his brain. Is he around?
He's just finishing up something in the garage. He'll be in any minute. You know how he is with his projects. Once he gets started, it's hard to pull him away.
I completely understand that.
So how long have you and Sarah been together now? I feel like it's gone by so fast.
Almost 2 years. Time flies, right? We actually met at a conference, which I think she finds more embarrassing to tell people than I do.
She mentioned that. She said she almost didn't go that day.
Yeah, and I almost didn't either, so it was a bit of a happy accident, really.
I love that. You know, I always say the best things in life are the ones you don't see coming.
That's a great way to put it.
Now, are you from the city originally, or did you grow up somewhere else?
I grew up in a pretty small town about 2 hours from here. Very quiet, not much going on. So moving to the city was a bit of a culture shock at first.
I can imagine. Do you miss it?
Sometimes, yeah. Mostly the pace of it. Things move so much slower there. But I think I've gotten used to the city now. I can't really picture going back, to be honest.
That's how it gets you. Oh, I think Robert's coming in. Let me get you something to drink while you wait. What would you like? We have juice, sparkling water, or I can open that wine you brought.
Sparkling water sounds great, thank you. And Emily, seriously, thank you again for having me. I was a little nervous about tonight, but I already feel very welcome.
Oh, Phil, that's exactly what we wanted. You're family now.
That means a lot.
Okay, that one got me. The ending especially. Your family now. That hit different.
Right? And what I love about that conversation is that Phil wasn't trying too hard. He was warm, he was genuine, and he asked good questions. That's really the secret to small talk.
Exactly. It's not about having the perfect answer. It's about making the other person feel heard. All right, let's look at some of the language. 3 things today.
First one, time flies. Emily asked how long Phil and Sarah had been together, and Phil said, time flies, right? This is one of those idioms that native speakers use constantly, and it simply means that time passes very quickly. You'll hear it in so many situations. I can't believe it's already December. Time flies. Supernatural, super common.
Second one, Pick his brain. When Emily mentioned that her husband Robert worked in advertising, Phil said he'd love to pick his brain. This means you want to talk to someone to get their knowledge or ideas on something. You're not literally picking anything. It just means you see that person as a great source of information and you want to take advantage of that.
And the third one is the phrasal verb pull away. Emily said that once Robert gets started on a project, it's hard to pull him away. To pull someone away means to get them to stop doing something that has their full attention. Like when you're completely focused on something and someone has to basically drag you out of it.
3 very different expressions, but all of them incredibly useful in everyday conversation. Especially in social situations where you want to sound natural and not like you're reading from a textbook.
Okay, last one. Our third and final scenario of the day.
And this one is something literally everyone has faced at some point. You walk into a store, you find something you like, and then you see the price. And you think, is this the best they can do?
We've all been there.
The thing is, in English, asking about discounts, promotions, or payment options can feel awkward if you don't know how to bring it up naturally. You don't want to sound rude, but you also don't want to just pay full price without even asking.
Because sometimes all it takes is one question.
Exactly. So, in this last conversation, we'll hear Kendall, a customer who's shopping for something and wants to get the best deal possible. And Richard is the store associate helping her out.
Pay attention to how Kendall brings things up without being pushy, and how Richard handles it on his end. It's a very realistic back and forth.
Here we go. Last conversation of the day.
Hi there, welcome in. Is there anything I can help you with today, or are you just browsing?
Hi. Actually, yes. I've been looking at that camera in the display case over there, the mirrorless one. I was here last week just looking around, but I think I'm ready to actually make a decision today.
Of course, great choice. That model's been really popular lately. It's $2,149 at full price, but I can tell you that we do have a few things going on right now that might work in your favor.
Oh, really? Like what?
So right now we have a bundle deal where the camera comes with an extra lens and a carrying case, and the whole package is $2,399, which honestly saves you about $250 compared to buying everything separately.
Okay, that's actually not bad. Is that the only promotion running right now?
We also have a trade-in program if you have an older camera you're not using. Depending on the model and condition, that could knock anywhere from $100 to $400 off your total.
I do have an old one at home, but I'm not sure what it's worth. I'd have to bring it in, right?
Exactly. We'd need to take a look at it. But if you want, I can give you a rough idea of what range it might fall into based on the brand and age.
It's a Canon, probably 6 or 7 years old. Entry level.
Honestly, for something like that, you're probably looking at somewhere between $80 and $120 off. Not a huge amount, but it's something.
Fair enough. Now, what about payment options? Do you offer any kind of financing?
We do. We work with 2 providers. One is interest-free for 12 months, as long as the balance is paid off within that period. The other stretches it out to 36 months, but does carry interest after the first 6.
The 12-month one sounds better to me. Is there a minimum purchase amount to qualify?
For that plan, it's anything over $500, so you'd definitely be eligible.
Good to know. And one more thing, I don't want to push my luck here, but is there any wiggle room on the price itself? Like, is that something that ever happens here?
I appreciate you asking directly. On electronics, we don't usually have a lot of flexibility on the sticker price, but what I can do is throw in a 2-year protection plan at no extra cost. That's normally $189 on its own.
Okay, now we're talking. That actually makes a big difference.
I thought it might.
All right, I think I'm pretty close to saying yes. Let me just do the math in my head for a second.
Take your time, no rush at all.
Okay, I love Kendall. She went in there with a plan.
She really did. And what I liked is that she wasn't aggressive about it at all. She was polite the whole time, but she also wasn't just going to walk out without asking. That balance is actually really hard to pull off.
Totally. All right, let's break down 3 things from that conversation.
First, wiggle room. Kendall asked if there was any wiggle room on the price. This is a really useful idiom that means flexibility, space to negotiate. If there's wiggle room, things aren't completely fixed, and there might be room to adjust. You'll hear this in shopping situations, but also in work, deadlines, plans. Is there any wiggle room on that deadline? Very natural.
Second one, knock off. Richard said the trade-in could knock anywhere from $100 to $400 off the total. To knock off a certain amount means to deduct it, to take it off the price. Can you knock off 10%? Extremely common when you're negotiating a price in English.
And the last one? Now we're talking. When Richard offered the free protection plan, Kendall said, "Now we're talking." This expression means that something finally sounds good, that you're getting somewhere. It shows enthusiasm and agreement without being over the top. It's one of those phrases that just sounds very natural and native when you drop it in the right moment.
3 great ones. And honestly, if you take just those 3 into your next shopping experience in English, you're already in a much better position.
All right, that was our third and final conversation of the day. And what a day it's been.
Right? We had Ben and Susan stressing over spreadsheets at the kitchen table.
Phil surviving his first dinner with the in-laws, which respect to that man, by the way.
Huge respect. And then Kendall walking into that store and coming out with a free protection plan she wasn't even expecting.
Honestly, Kendall won today.
She really did. But I think what ties all 3 of those situations together is that in each one, the language wasn't complicated. It wasn't fancy. It was just the right words in the right moment, said with confidence.
And that's kind of the whole point of this podcast, isn't it? It's not about being perfect. It's about being prepared.
Exactly. And if you made it all the way to the end of this episode, you're already doing the work. So genuinely, thank you. It means a lot to us that you spend your time here.
If you enjoyed this one, go ahead and give it a like. It really helps more people find the show. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time. We put out new episodes regularly, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.
And share it with someone who's also working on their English. Because honestly, the best way to learn is with someone else going through the same thing.
All right, that's all from us today. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia. Take care, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next one.
To keep taking your English to the next level, click on the next video or explore the others we've made for you.